guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about teaching memorable classes. Now, if you are new around here, I teach both in the physical classroom, face-to-face with students, as well as online. Today I want to talk about online teaching, making it memorable, making the students feel like they are heard, like they've learned something, and that in the future they will think of you when scheduling other classes. Really quick, if you are new here on my channel, be sure to click that little red subscription button and the bell down below to be updated for each and every future video. I typically do a video once a week, and I would love to see you guys around for the next one. Except for this month, if you're seeing it in the month of March 2021, we are doing March Madness, where we are doing a video every single day for the entire month. So today, our topic is teaching memorable classes. I'm going to tell you guys my top 5 tips that have kept me fully booked on OUTSCHOOL for the past 9 months, which in itself has been a very big blessing. And if there's anybody here who is new to that platform or any online teaching platforms, let me know what you're teaching down below in the comment section. I also have another video you might find helpful, and I'm going to put it up above in the cards. If you are looking for other platforms to teach self-made classes on, I did an entire video and made a free guide. Again, that'll be up above in the cards, and I may as well just put it down below in the description box. If you're looking for different platforms to teach, whether it's language, teaching kids, adults, or places that you don't even have to go and apply, you can just sign up and teach. All you need to know is down below in the description box. But without any further ado, here are my top 5 tips to teach memorable classes. Number 1, I wrote introductions. Have them, but keep them short and sweet. Allow the kids to, say their names and maybe share something about them. So if I'm teaching a class about the animals at the zoo, I might have each kid, first I'd welcome them all. I'd let them know that I am muting them and that we are going to do introductions. When I say their name, they can unmute their microphones and share their name, introduce themselves, and their favorite animal. Make the one share be applicable to your class. So again, if you're gonna do zoo, they can share about animals. If you're gonna teach colors, have them share their favorite color. This gets them engaged from the very beginning. It shows them, hey, Teacher Kristen's going to teach an interactive class where I'm going to be muting to speak and then unmuting. I'm not just going to be sitting there watching, because if you're sitting there watching, you are no different than a YouTube video that they can just mindlessly listen to and not really focus. So introductions, very important. Keep them short and sweet. Number 2, I wrote give a short but precise instruction to your students about what's going to happen and what you expect. Like I said in my last note, I will greet them. I will always verbally tell them I am muting you. And then after our introductions, I'll have them mute. I'll explain to them what we are going to do, what I expect from them, and then if they have any questions, they can either press the hands up function on Zoom, or they can write in the chat and say, I have a question. I always say, just so everybody can get all the information and we get through our whole class on time, if you do have questions, please be sure not to unmute, but just to let me know in the chat or the hands up. So I'm telling them what we're going to do and what I expect from them. Now, if you're teaching young kids, you might have to alter how you do this, but for me, I typically teach ages 7 or 8 and higher. So for me, giving them these verbal instructions and giving them options has worked really, really well. And just at the very beginning of class, introductions, expectations, and then we jump into our course material. Number 3, I wrote allow short breaks to reflect on what you've learned. For me, we'll go ahead and we'll learn a little bit. We'll do a couple of my Google slides and then we'll stop and I'll have them share, like I wrote one thing they didn't learn before. I'll let them know again, just like introductions, I'm gonna go down the list. When you hear your name, go ahead and unmute and let me know one thing you didn't know before, one thing you learned. Now you will get kids that'll be like,
I already knew all of this.
Then I'll say, oh, that's really great. What's something you are hoping to learn in the next part of our class? I keep it positive, I keep it constructive, and you will get sass every once in a while, but just knowing how to handle it is really helpful. But taking those breaks and even hearing what other learners have learned also reinforces that material. Like if we were learning about zebras and little Zach over here wasn't really paying attention, but he heard Amy share what she learned about zebras, that'll reinforce the information back to him. Number 4, I wrote always allow 1 to 2 minutes for any final questions on your lesson. Also, side note, do set aside that time. But I've noticed if there's ever a tech issue when we're taking any of our other breaks, like let's say little Zachary from my example, let's say he had a tech issue and he wasn't able to share 10 minutes ago in our class. Now that we're at the end of class, I'll say, hey you guys, I want to know any questions, but really quick, Zach, if you can hear me, can you go ahead and share what we already previously shared? What was one thing that you learned? I just want to make sure that you get a chance to share with our group. Now, sometimes that works and their technology is working by then. Sometimes it's not. I have never really done a video on dealing with parents in OUTSCHOOL classes, but I can say I have had some dissatisfied parents on the side of technology. And I can tell you, there are parents that have reached out to me and said, I really thought you would have forgotten my kid because in the middle of our class, his tech wasn't working, but you remembered to go back. I actually have all their names on Post-its or my stickies notes on my computer. Once they all share, they get a check mark. If they weren't able to share, I give a little star. So I know at the end of class, this child wasn't able to share because of tech issues. So I know at the end of class to try one more time. The students will appreciate, and more importantly, the parents will appreciate that you took the time to include their child in that class discussion. But on top of that, allow 1 to 2 minutes for any questions. And then I always tell them if they have any other questions, they can leave them in our classroom portal. Every individual class has its own little classroom portal. They can write to you, you'll get notified, and you can answer them there. Lastly, let your students know you were happy to spend time with them in class. Make them feel appreciated that they came to your classroom. I will always end class very similar to a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood episode. I'll let them know I had a lot of fun with you guys today. Thank you so much for sharing this class with me. I hope you got to learn something new today. I'll always wish them well in their future OUTSCHOOL classes, as well as their school and their family. I'll let them know I hope to see them in a future class, and I will always say goodbye to them, and I will wait until all of them have exited. I don't want them to think, oh, well, we hit the 4:30 mark, she's out. I will say bye to them and let them all exit the room. And again, let them know you appreciated them. I think kids these days, I don't know if it's media or movies, whatever, pop culture, kids sometimes think that we are just there to drone at them and then leave. I want kids in my classroom to know that I am happy they're there. I appreciate that we're going to spend this time and learn something together, and that they were appreciated. They were appreciated to be there, because a child that feels appreciated is more likely to enjoy learning. And above all, that is my philosophy as a teacher. They don't have to remember everything I taught them or all the objectives. I want them to grow a love of learning. That's just my personal goal. But you guys, those are my top 5 tips for teaching memorable classes. To recap, introductions, have them, but keep them short and sweet. Number 2, give short but precise instructions on what you expect from your learners. Number 3, allow short breaks to reflect on what you've learned in the class. Number 4, give 1 to 2 minutes for final questions and have anybody who had tech issues finally answer anything you had in class. And number 5, let the kids know that you appreciated that you got to spend time with them in your classroom. Now, those are what have personally worked well for me. If you have anything else that you'd like to add to this discussion, please let me know down below in the comment section. I try to get to each and every comment, whether you're teaching on OUTSCHOOL, GoGo Kid, VIP Kid, KidPass, or whatever plethora of new online teaching platforms are coming out each month. I hope that you enjoy teaching. I hope that your kids are learning so much from you. And again, above all, I hope they are developing a love of learning, because I feel like after everything that's gone on in the world over these long and grueling past 12 months, the kids should just learn to love learning. And that, I feel, would solve a lot of problems, but that's a whole video for another day. If you guys like this one, let me know by giving it a huge thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed. I will go back to my regular schedule of online teaching, Q&As, videos, to-dos, tutorials after March, but this is our March Madness series. Thank you guys for watching it, and check back tomorrow for a new video.